welcome to today's video. A lot of people have been asking how my BRZ is holding up with the turbo kit, and to answer your question, come on, follow me. All right, little cold start for you guys. You know, we're running into a couple codes here. You know, just the typical stuff with a turbo BRZ. Right. Check engine, traction, e-brake, caution sign, seat belt, coolant, airbag, gas, TPMS. This is my 2022 Adro Widebody JDL Turbo Kit BRZ, and I have finally hit around 65,000 miles. If you guys didn't see on the gauge cluster in the intro, this car is getting pretty old, and that's because I've driven the car all the way to Vegas, multiple trips to Virginia, and a lot of trips to Orlando and whatnot. I've done a lot of driving with this car. Today we're going to go over the things that I've dealt with modifying and turboing this car. We did go ahead and throw on the wing back onto this car. If you guys didn't know, during SEMA we did have the Adro wing on this car. I did end up taking it off because I wanted a more sleek look, but we're getting ready to rewrap this car and I really want this aggressive look again. So I went ahead and got another wing, put it back on the car, and it looks absolutely sick. We have the JDL Turbo Kit. This is more of a OEM type kit. There is kits like the P&L, which Austin and Chris Borges are running. They're making around 550, 600 wheel. I'm only making around 330, and this is because we were one of the first to actually turbo this car. So when we were tuning it, we didn't know how much we wanted to actually, boost it. So we are running a low PSI. I want to say it's probably around 8, nothing crazy, but the car does feel insanely more open. I've run into pretty much no issues with this turbo kit. Everything has been very smooth. It's all bolt-on. This is a reversible kit. It has an oil pan swap so that you can actually clean your oil pickup tube. That's very essential. I went with all the black powder coating so that it could look as factory as possible while doing it. So I'm pretty happy with it. I also went ahead and did the injectors and the fuel pump. That's something you're gonna have to do if you want it to run, as well as you can get it. But I also plan to get the flex fuel sensor, since I already have the injectors and fuel pump, and go ahead and retune it and get closer to that 450 number. Although I think 325 is plenty for this car on the dyno, but Hopping straight into my BRZ, it has been holding up fantastically. I don't think I am the best owner of a car in the world. I definitely don't check all my stuff all the time, and the car has been holding up very well. I get a lot of comments from you guys like, how is it holding up? How is it compared to other cars you've driven? Is it worth it? Just stuff like that, like reliability. And honestly, I've surprisingly only dealt with one code on this car, and that is my evap canister. Problem started when I went turbo, but the problem wasn't because of the turbo. The problem ended up being because I have no rear fender liner in my rear right wheel well, and water clogged the evap canister, which is just an emissions thing, to where it would throw a code and throw it in the limp mode every once in a while. I went ahead and bought a new evap canister. I need to go ahead and switch that out. But other than that, I have not dealt with any codes with this turbo. The car feels like, honestly, it feels like this is how it should have came. I have not had to change my clutch. It's not even slipping. From factory, a car that comes with 220 horsepower, I believe, that I boosted on another 100 horsepower, which is conservative, my clutch is not slipping. And I've had it like this set up for 30,000 miles. Clutch is not slipping. I haven't had to do anything. I just had to do injectors, fuel pump, and that was just the standard, with the turbo. So it's really cool that I'm able to throw stuff like that on a car like this and not have to worry about it degrading itself, Curves here, it's the way this car comes out of curves, especially because I upgraded the brakes to these Cadillac ATS calipers, you're able to stop, and then you're able to downshift right here at this bend. And what's just so crazy that, it's a really good handling car. What's really cool is that you are able to get out of the bend and then step on it. And the turbo makes up for the thing that this car, is missing. Cameraman's having a good time. These cars, they fix the torque dip really well, you know, compared to the first gens. But, you know, it still is a slower car. So adding boost to it awakened it to a whole nother car. And everyone's gonna ask, why not turbo the car from factory? You know, it's because there's a GR Yaris, GR Corolla, GR Supra. That's just what affect their market, especially with them coming out with that 2.0 Supra. That is the reason I think these cars didn't get a turbo. But honestly, it's so much more satisfying to boost this car yourself and get the turbo. JDL makes a wonderful kit. It's a really good kit that just puts the power down like linear. You know, obviously it's also going to come down to your tune, but it's a linear bolt-on factory looking turbo kit that isn't way too expensive. I know like most people, when they're getting ready to turbo their car, you're going to be looking around $10,000 max, because the kit alone I think is around $6,000. Then you got to tune it, then you got to do injectors and fuel pump, and then install. If you guys are crafty enough, go ahead and install it yourself. It didn't look too difficult. I did have a shop do it for me because I've never done it before. Don't put that in. I don't want anyone knowing I'm weak. Just kidding. Put that in. I don't care. It's something that I didn't want to mess up, and we were on a time frame trying to get ready for Gatlinburg. And I just wanted to do it right. You know, I was very worried going into this kit because obviously there's a lot of turbo GR86 BRZs now, but there wasn't when I first did it. There was none. So it was a scary gray area, and it worked out very well. How does this compare to a Civic Type R now that I've cosmetically got it where I wanted to, handling wise got it where I wanted to, and power wise now that it's boosted? It is 325 wheel, and my Type R, you know, it comes with 315 or 310, and mine was full bolt-on, so it was a little bit quicker than this. But how do I compare the two cars? Now that question for me is hard, because the reason I sold my Type R was to get a BRZ for the channel, for my socials, so I could build a career out of it. The Civic Type R at the time was like 4 years old. It wasn't relevant anymore. The BRZ had just dropped. So that is why I did it, not because I think it's a better car. If it was a better car, I think it would be more expensive than the Type R from factory. It's just, I will die on the Type R hill all day long. It's one of the best cars on the market. I'm also a front wheel drive lover. If you guys aren't, then that's not the car for you, but I'm a front wheel drive lover. Best front wheel drive car of all time. Great turbo 4-cylinder that's really dailyable and comes great out of the box. You just got to do wheels, a couple bolt-on suspension. This car, you're able to do inside and out. If you want to build a car from the inside to the outside, like if you want to touch everything on the car, this is the car to buy. Like, this is what the brands were thinking of when they were designing this car. They were knowing that everybody molested their first gens. Their second gens needed to be able to handle that. So the aftermarket support was instant with like figuring out how to make it look sharp, make it look smooth. Like, I think as soon as the car came out, there was like 5 body kits right off the bat. Like the GR Corolla and GR Supra, or at least the GR Corolla, has like nothing right now. Like, I think they have like one option, and it's not that good of one. So it's like, this car is really cool to be able to take and make your own. And you know, that's my take on it. But you know, you guys want to talk about mileage, you guys want to talk about longevity, there's really nothing for me to talk about with you guys. Like, it's literally, if you keep up with your oil changes every, let me ask my cameraman here so I don't get roasted, 5,000, 10,000, 3,000?
35 for.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, what up?
That's if you're being like super like nice about it.
Okay, so
5,000 max.
Obviously you're gonna run into little issues here and there maybe, but really it comes down to your tuner. I have Slowpoke Tuning over here in Jacksonville, Florida. He's really good. He did a really good job. We are going to be using him again when we try to go for more power with the flex fuel. So if you guys want to see us with the flex fuel try and make 400, 450, be sure to subscribe. If you guys want to see this car get rewrapped, which is literally the next like video after the next video, I think, subscribe. But this car, there's a lot more to do to it. Even though it looks almost done, you know, it never really is done.
Scaring me.
Oh man, Trey pushes me to drive my cars better and better every day, And that was one of those moments. That was so much fun. So there you guys have it. The BRZ is probably one of the best cars you can buy on the market. Nothing compares, not even a Lamborghini. I can't do this. As you guys can see, this car is very capable, you know, not only shown by my car, but a bunch of others that have just represented for the BRZ community that these cars can be made to your own liking. For those of you guys who are interested in buying a BRZ or a GR86, I say go for it if that's something you want to build, not buy. If you want to buy a car, there's the Supra, there's the GR Corolla. I have another video on that you guys can check out. But if you guys want to build something, such a good car to build. I'm absolutely in love with these cars, and I can't see myself living without one. Just kidding, unless I'm like really rich and can buy something better, but you know, I'm not. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and buy a t-shirt. Like I said, I'm not rich. I need help. I never stop dreaming.